Alright, so I'm Hlas, and the highlight of my project is the moose. For our 100 class, our assignment was to make a hat or helmet with a mask or without a mask to reflect ourselves and our history. In mine, I've always been really a fan of nature. I love being in nature. I go to Canada every summer with my family. That is my favorite place in the world. We have a cabin on the lake. It's in the middle of nowhere. There's no cell service, no electricity. So you're truly in the middle of nature, and it's just amazing. So I decided to go with the nature concept with the project. This base here represents a tree trunk. And what the tree trunk represents about me is about being very supportive. I'm very supportive of all my friends, my family, and everything I do. I like to support those in need by doing stuff at the Salvation Army, different charities. So I felt that really represented me. The second part here is these moose antlers here. Moose are always been one of my favorite animals. They're big, they're tough. They always go solo. Unless they're with their babies, you hardly see them in packs. So I've always been very fascinated with moose. The tough part about moose, I play soccer. It's my favorite sport. And what I feel on the field is I feel I'm very tough. I do everything I can to win. I feel I'm very resilient. Similar to moose. Solo, I like to do things a lot for myself as well. So I like to go, not to say solo, but I'm self-reliant like moose. The third part of my project here, the deer ears are made out of water bottles. The deer ears are very sensitive, so they can hear very well. Just like me, I'm pretty decent at hearing. They're very alert. I'm always alert, always on my toes, ready for anything. My concept development here, when I first started the project, I didn't know where to go at all. So I was always fascinated with Viking art as well. So I thought I would try that. So I tried some different concepts here. This is what I started. So my first design here, this Viking hat. On the front would be a Viking shield that has the Viking horns, like the typical Viking helmets you see. And then with like a top hat base kind of thing. After looking at the different kinds of Viking art and stuff, I felt it was very complicated and something that didn't really reflect me. So I decided not to do that. These are a couple of my other rough sketches here though. This one here represents some stuff. This is an M for Mount Union and Medina, which I went to high school. It has a soccer ball on it, some couple of arrows here, water bottles. Up here some more designs. After reviewing those and deciding not to do those because I didn't feel they were really sufficient enough and didn't really follow the requirements enough, so I didn't do those ones. A second thought I had was Native Americans, because I've always been fascinated in their art as well. Their love of nature and animals really reflects me as well, so I thought about doing that, but I decided not to. A couple of my inspirational sources here. These are both examples of natural art. This one up here is from the Robert Smithson Gallery website. Is the Spiral Jetty. It's made in Salt Lake City, or not Salt Lake City, but in Utah. This one here is called Leaves and Hole. This is by Andy Goldsworthy. This one's also from his gallery online. They're land artists. They do a lot of natural work, and again, what I love is nature. So I felt they were a really good inspirational source for me, so I decided to follow their work and going with nature. This is my final design here, the tree trunk, the antlers, and the deer ears here. Processing materials here. I didn't use that many materials, but it was enough to do what I needed to do. I used tape, glue, paper mache, paint, and a box cutter to cut out the cardboard. My first step in the process was to make the sketches, which I had showed previously. After that, I decided on what the design I was going to do. So I had my base here, I made the base, the tree trunk here. After making that, I made all the other pieces before I started attaching things. So I made the antlers here out of cardboard. I cut them with a box cutter out of the cardboard and used scissors to cut the water bottles up to make the deer ears. After that, I attached them all hot glue and paper mache. I paper mache the antlers here and attached the water bottles and the cardboard to the base with hot glue. And after that, I painted it. With the paint here, I used a green on the front and a red in the back because they're complementary colors. and then I kind of mixed them and combined them so they kind of flowed together pretty well. So the problems I had with the base, making just out of straight cardboard, I had some stability problems. It was very flimsy, not really held its shape very well. And also I had problems with paper mache sticking. For whatever reason, it didn't want to stick very well and it kept falling off. So what I did is my solutions. On the inside here, as you can see up there as well, I added a second piece of cardboard in there. I hot glued it together so it held the shape more of the base, so the base is pretty firm now. And as the paper mache didn't stick, I added a second layer of paper mache, and that really helped it stick a little more, and it doesn't really fall off as much now. And these here are my references. Thank you.
All right. Well, you did well. You had good eye contact, and you definitely incorporated some slides that made sense.